Sugar trying to play me, and now they hate me. Now when I come around, got them screaming, oh she fame me. When I turn around, got them clicking, trying to paste me. Better pipe down before it get messy. Hey y'all, what's up? How you doing? How you living? Hopefully good. That's what's up. If you're returning to the His House, welcome back. If you're new to the His House, welcome. We'd love to have you a part of the parties, part of our lovelies. That's on per T on me. All right, so if you like any part, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Yeah. All right, so let's get into the fact of now. Keep in mind, this is something I really never cared about, but I'm at an age where I'm over a certain age to care, even though I care, but I don't. But I'm here for y'all because I know y'all probably care more than I do, right? So I just want you to be aware of this. If you are having trouble finding real love in your life, your family is having trouble finding real love in your life, then you might want to listen to this video because it could be something more deeper that you need to look into, something more personable in your life, and we need to get into it. Okay? Because love is out there, real love does exist. Okay? But like I said on my last video, stay prayed up so you don't have to become prey. Check that out. People can actually attack your love life, okay? Or curse your family lineage, as you've heard of generational curses, okay? So, yes, if you notice that people around you are constantly in bad relationships, bad situationships, they're not in love, they're not in love for real. You know, they're constantly finding all these bad people, then you need to probably pray because maybe there is a generational curse in your family that you are not aware of. Because me, I'm a person, I'll say this in my life. Like I really haven't experienced love in a way I feel like I should. Okay, I put it like that. And now that I'm older, I know part of it was me and part of it was outside forces. It just is what it is. So with that being said, you have to pray on your success of your relationship, finding love, and that can sometimes help the situation, okay? But if it's deeper than that and you have generational curses upon your life, some of these generational curses is crazy because it goes deeper and you may have to pray more than one time. Like you may have to pray a couple times because it's like spiritual warfare, right? And then eventually you break the curse or whatever. But it's like, let's say somebody made one of your family members mad or whatever, and they try to send a curse your way, this and this and that, or and it ends up attacking you and then your people, and it just nobody really checks it because back in the day they were more into the spiritual warfare stuff than they are nowadays. I feel like it's coming back around, but back then they were really like more aware, so those generational curses like stuck. Now I'm a person like I don't care about divorce. I don't care if I see like a relationship fail. Like I've seen it before. It's nothing new to me. But that's the sad part. That's the crazy part. Like it's so new and melodrama. Like, but it's not necessarily normal. So what I'm saying is there could be like a curse that you have to pray against that affects certain avenues in your love. Because me personally, I can't even physically say I really experienced, like I said, love in a way that I should, meaning from different people that I loved and cared about. It's always been something out of work, like whack, like something not quite there. Like it's almost at the mark, but it's not hitting the mark. So I'm the first one to say, yeah, something is definitely not normal. Because to be honest, you would think it's normal. Like I thought it's been normal most of my life. And then I just started seeing certain things. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this isn't normal. But of course it's normal to you because you're used to it and you're adjusting to it. But nah, baby, it's not normal because at the end of the day, like we are people that's full of love. We are meant to love and we deserve love. And that's the first step too. You have to know that you deserve love. and love will be more open to come to you and develop in your life. That's number one. Because when you see it so rampant around you, like, oh, nobody's relationship is ever working, and it's not really worth getting in a relationship, or most relationships are going to feel like, you're going to feel like that because you see it all the time and you don't even want to try to give it a chance sometimes. So with that being said, it's also a mindset thing. You have to welcome love into your life. You have to expect love to be in your life for it to show up, because you could be manifesting love out of your life and you not know it. Because I know for one time I was always like, I would never want to depend on a man for this. I don't want to have to be in a relationship and have to depend on like nobody. Like I would always say that, and I still am like that to an extent. But if the right person come along, let's put that clause in there, then I'll be ready to do a little something. You know what I'm saying? Or a little something. You know, so you have to like be specific, and you have to be mindful of the way you're thinking, the way you're feeling, the way you're talking to yourself, because these things are powerful. And it's like the way you talk, the way you speak, you like can speak some of these things into existence. So you have to be careful with that. And you the whole time you're thinking it's like outside situations that's influencing your situation, but it's you. You already have a negative mindset going into the thing, a negative mindset. And so you're going to have to get a negative outcome to come out of that thing. And it just is what it is. And it's not always good. Now, another thing that's kind of on the more darker side that I'm recently finding out about, and I didn't even know I would want to find out about. Like I've heard, you know, you hear talks of spiritual husbands, spiritual wives, spiritual husbands, spiritual wives, and that I feel like really exists. And to be honest, I question if I've had one. And that's crazy. I know. I didn't even know I had one, but maybe I had one. You know what I'm saying? But looking into what it is and what it entails, I kind of feel like maybe I had. Okay, so I'm going to go into it, but without trying to go too far into my business, my situation, or whatever. But let's start with a spiritual husband and wife is. Okay, a lot of it is dealing with the spiritual realm. It's not something physical, but it's like when an entity attaches itself to you. And I've also heard that it can have more than one. Like you're not necessarily the only one, and they claim you, whether at birth because somebody chose to give you away as like a sacrificial lamb, or as unknowingly they attach to you some other way, or they spoke claim to you, whatever, and you saw a vision in your dream, and you unknowingly, because it looked like your crush, and you unknowingly this and that. Like it's different ways apparently. To be honest, it's so crazy because I don't remember physically doing anything, but I feel like maybe something was done when I was younger. And that's the crazy part. That's the crazy part, because imagine me being a child and somebody already catching claim to me. But I feel like it's because sometimes people say that this is not the first time we've here, like we've been here before. So with that being said, maybe this entity knew me in a previous life, if another life ever existed. That's the only way I can like think of it. But okay, so, and then I'm also, as I gotten older, I realized there's people that, whether in my family or outside of my family, friends, relatives, have dwelled in like dark things that they probably shouldn't dwell in, if that makes sense. And at the time I had no idea. So I feel like maybe one of them, whether through a curse or whatever, could have caused something in my direction. Okay. And the only reason I said I may have had one, because the crazy thing is, and I never really understood it, but okay, I was watching this show because I started realizing I might have one, because the crazy thing is, like, I could tell like it was this. Okay, this is probably gonna be a little weird, but hey, y'all, part of his house, it gets weird over here. But I'm trying to be real with you. I had I'm a person. I encountered spirits in other people. Like me, I can be talking to somebody and they flip and start talking another way. I'm like, oh, this is not this person. This is something else. Like I've recently been able to like decipher that. So with that being said, I've encountered this thing that has switched, and I didn't know what it was, but I knew it was like a thing, and it had a sexual connotation a lot of times. It's crazy. And it would enter in people around me, whether it was on my job, and people would say weird little crazy stuff or whatever, and I'd feel uncomfortable, like want to go, or just weird stuff. Like, I can't really explain it, but that's all I can really say. And you could tell that it was something that was acting like they knew me, or they were trying to get my attention, or trying to be personable with me. And I keep in mind, I will say that when it came to, self exploration, I kind of started a little younger than what I probably should have, because around me, I was in an environment where, stuff like that would be on TV, and, people would just be in relationships around me. And so you get curious about a lot of things. So I would say that. So that's, to be honest, it was kind of shocking to me, because I'm like, what? Okay. So that's that. Okay. So then I had like these entities like following me. And then I was watching this show, and it said, okay, no, let me show you another thing. Okay, I've dated people before, and like I really wasn't like into them, but I could tell they were like into me. And it's crazy enough, they've been in serious accidents. I put it like that mildly. They're alive, thankfully, because after I found out, of course I, sent prayers their way. And I'm thinking the whole time, okay, I'm being protected, and maybe somebody had it out for me, and people get what they deserve the whole time. Then I started thinking about it. I'm like, but these people care for me to some extent, or I either care for them to some extent, meaning I wanted to wish them well and so forth. And so anyway, and I've also realized most people that I've encountered as far as relationship, it wasn't really where I wanted to be. And even when I got married, it really wasn't nothing that I really wanted. Okay. So I was watching this show on how spiritual spouses can affect you. Like, you would think that they would try to look out for you, which they kind of do, but it was saying that they really don't want you to be in love with anything. Like, if you're in love with a certain person, or a job, or have a passion about anything, they get kind of jealous, and they kind of want you to be like, I don't know what it is, like basic. Maybe that's because they really can't attach you if you become too up there, or to vibrate higher or more positive. I don't know if that's because they can't attach you after that. Maybe that's why. Because I feel like I got this thing head on, and I had to denounce it and like, forget you, this and this. Like, I felt like it came to me head on, and then something came to me. The Holy Spirit spoke to me, was like, this is a spirit that you need to address. If not, that feel like it has claim to you or whatever. Because it would just come up in my life in just weird times. And so I had to like pray against it or whatever. And it was really weird, but it was also pivotal in my spiritual journey. Okay. But I've always been one of the person, just a little key about me. I always wanted to be a person that like cast out demons and stuff. Like I used to. Now, not so much, like in a different form. But I used to be like, I want to like, get rid of spirit. So it wasn't nothing like scary to me. I put it like that. But it was definitely shocking. It'd probably be shocking to some people. Okay, so anyway, right. So with that being said, it would just say basically like this thing didn't want you to be happy. It would want you to be struggling or not so successful. Because guess what? When you're in a bad state of mind, you start tending to go towards those more darker things, whether it's sex, drugs, addiction, stuff like that, so forth and so on. So yeah, I feel like they do exist, because it's crazy how I really discovered this. But here I am now, single woman, could care less if I'm in a relationship, if I want a relationship, but part of me now wants to be in one. I really had to come to grips that something has really been affected to coming against my love life. And so I had to pray against it. And any entities that feel like they have claim on me, whether through witches, warlock, spirits, or other outside darkness that's trying to come against me and generations with me. Like, you got to get real. It gets deep because people actually do. And like I said, they jump bodies. Sometimes they'll be in your partner. I was hearing about this one woman, how she had a spiritual spouse, and she had another physical husband, and how her and her husband would constantly argue, constantly fight, because that entity that was attached to her didn't want her to be happy. And he would sometimes drag her out of bed, or drag the other person out of bed with her husband. So it gets deep. But it's like you were thinking you would see an entity, but you're not seeing an entity, you're seeing another person who is acting a certain way based on the oppression of the entity. That's how it works, kind of like a possession almost. But it comes and it goes. That's how the devil works. And so that's why I say you got to stay prayed up. And if you are encountering a situation where you just never seem like you can find love, or love never comes to you, it might be because there's outside forces, outside people that are preying on your downfall, or maybe a spiritual spouse who's claimed you without your consent or knowledge, because you don't have to physically have a wedding for them to claim you. It can be just wicked parents. It can be just different things. So just be mindful. You be careful out there, and you'll be okay. Break to the dawn. You know we chrome, sitting on the dome. You know we home. DK, his house is on our zone. DK, his house, Pertion. Sipping on that pearly, white millet Merle. Sipping on that pearly, ooh, she dirty.